Virtual network events are where careers go to die. Look, hear me out. You log into Zoom, you're a floating head. One of 47 floating heads. The hiring manager who could possibly change your life just muted you so they could yell at their kid in the kitchen. An hour later, you log off with one LinkedIn connection who will never message back. That familiar sinking feeling, you just wasted another hour in what I call Zoom ghost mode. If that sounds painfully familiar, listen closely. That failure isn't your fault. I'm Mousseau, an Army veteran and career transition coach. And for the last few years, I've coached more than 500 professionals through major career shifts, transitioning service members, military spouses, people pivoting industries, all looking for their next chapter. And I can tell you, the vast majority were doing virtual networking completely backwards. Not because they were lazy, not because they were unprofessional, but because they were taught a networking playbook that just doesn't work for how hiring actually happens online. They were taught to hunt, and that's a trap. You went into that event hunting for a job. So did everyone else. It becomes a room full of hunters, and you're all looking for one target, and absolutely no one is making a real connection. When you have the only internal question, what can I get from this? You automatically hide the one thing that makes people want to help you. Your genuine curiosity about them. Today, giving you the system to fix that. It's a 3-part plan that shifts you from being a hunter to being a valuable resource. It's the system that makes you magnetic. But before we get to the plan, understand this. Virtual isn't going anywhere. 25 report shows 93% of event organizers see virtual events as permanent. Most companies, hybrid is the new standard. Most people complain about this, the awkwardness, the tech glitches, the lack of connection. But for you, the person in career transition, this is your unfair advantage. Why? Well, because virtual levels the playing field. No more intimidating rooms, no need for being a booming extroverted personality. I'm introverted. I like those small, casual conversations. Virtual rewards preparation over performance. It gets rid of physical intimidation and gives you the power to do deep, targeted research just moments before you talk to someone. The old playbook was work the room. The new playbook is work the information. And this 3-part plan is your guide. Pre-event, engagement, follow-up. Let's start with what you do long before you ever click join meeting. Your mission starts way before the event kicks off with 4 critical steps. So, step 1, stop thinking about the event as a giant faceless crowd. Get the attendee list ahead of time. If you can't, look at who RSVP'd on LinkedIn or the event platform. Your goal is to find 3 people that genuinely interest you. Not just because they have some fancy title, but because their career path is fascinating, they worked on a project that you admire, or maybe they have a skill that you would like to learn. This isn't a list of targets. This is your curiosity list. It focuses your energy completely and shifts your mindset from what can they do for me to what can I learn from them. This simple change is the foundation of the entire system. Step 2. This is what I call like the 2-week warm-up. You're gonna warm these leads up. So once you have your curiosity list, you're gonna do something that 99% of other attendees will not do. 1 to 2 weeks before the event, send each person a simple, no strings attached message on LinkedIn. Something like this. Hi Jacob, I saw we're both attending our networking event in 2 weeks. Your transition really caught my eye. Looking forward to learning from you there. Mention a project, an article they wrote, or company recent launch. Information about them. That's it. You're not asking for a job. You're not asking for their time. You're just showing that you're a rare person who actually does their homework. Now, when they see your name pop up in the event chat, you're not a stranger anymore. You're the person who showed genuine interest in them. People like that. Step 3, the 6-year-old answer test. The most common question you'll get is, so what do you do? Most people in transition respond with a rambling, almost apologetic story about their past and what they hope to do next. It's confusing, and frankly, it makes you sound a little bit lost. Your mission is to craft an answer so simple a 6-year-old can understand. It focuses on the value that you create, not the title that you used to have. For example, a teacher moving into corporate training shouldn't say, well, I was a teacher for 10 years, now I'm trying to break into learning and development. Instead, try, I help people learn complicated things quickly. See the difference? It's simple, it's confident, and it practically begs the other person to ask, interesting, how do you do that? You've just turned a boring intro into an engaging conversation hook. Step 4, reach out to old allies. Some of your best opportunities will come from people you already know, but maybe you lost touch with them over the years. Sociologists call this the strength and weak ties. I'm sure you heard of it. Research shows that your casual acquaintances are often more helpful in a job search than your close friends. Why? Well, your close friends are in the same bubble that you're in. They know the same people, they got the same information as you. Your weak ties are bridges to entirely different networks and ideas. Scan the attendee list for those dormant ties. Maybe old colleagues, people you met at a conference 5 years ago, old classmates, people you served with. Reconnecting with them often way more effective than creating from scratch with a stranger. I mean, a simple, hey, it's been a while, great to see you're attending this, is all that it takes to reactivate that bridge. Here's part 2, engagement. All right, it's game day. You've done your intel, you have your curiosity list, your 6-year-old answer is locked and loaded. While everyone else is passively watching the screen, you're gonna do something to actively engage using a framework of genuine curiosity. Here's the tactic 1, the early arrival, okay? Log in 10 minutes before the official start time. This is a virtual lobby. You, the host, maybe a few of your guests are there. It's a golden, low-pressure window to have a real conversation and establish a presence before the chaos begins. Tactic 2, the breakout room. All right? Breakout rooms are where the real magic can happen. But most people, they freeze up. They just wait for someone else to start talking. But not you. The moment you enter a breakout room, you're going to reset the entire vibe by asking one powerful, open-ended question. Don't just ask what they do. Ask something better. Here's a few examples that you can steal. What's a project you're working on right now that you're really fired up about? Or what's the biggest challenge your team is wrestling with this quarter? Or how about this? If this event were a home run for you, what would you hope to walk away with? These questions snap people out of their boring elevator pitch script and into real conversation about what matters to them. Tactic 3, the common ground sweep. As people talk, your job isn't to wait your turn. Your job is to listen for connection points. Did they mention a city that you used to live in? A company that maybe you follow or worked at before? A problem that you solved before? Use the private chat. Send them a quick message like, hey John, you mentioned the challenge of managing remote teams. I actually found an incredible article on that last week. Let me send it your way. Just like that, you become a resource, not just an annoying job seeker. Tactic 4, the translation statement. At some point, you'll be asked about your background. This is where you use your 6-year-old answer and then immediately follow it with the translation statement. This is how you connect your past experience to their future needs. I'll drop this formula in the description, but here's an example. Sticking to our teacher example, I spent 10 years as a high school teacher where I got really good at creating engaging lesson plans from scratch and simplifying complex topics for a skeptical audience. That's the kind of experience that helps tech companies when they're trying to onboard new customers who aren't technical experts. Boom, that's it. You just translated your value directly into their language. Part 3, we're almost through. Follow up, all right? The event ends, and this is where 99% of all networking efforts die. People either send a generic great to connect message, or worse, they don't follow up at all. You will do neither. You're going to use the give first formula. Your entire goal is to follow up and provide value before you ever ask for anything. What does value look like? Well, it could be sharing that resource that you promised, making a thoughtful introduction to someone they might benefit from knowing. Send a short video message with a tool like Loom or from your phone to expand on a solution to a problem that they brought up. or simply being a sounding board in a follow-up email about an idea that they had. This is all governed by two simple rules. The 24-hour message rule. What is that? Well, send a follow-up message within 24 hours. Reference your specific conversation. Hi Sarah, it was great chatting with you about whatever topic. As promised, here's that article on remote team management. Hope it's helpful. That's it. And then the 72-hour delivery rule. If you promise something that's bigger, like an introduction, you deliver on it within 72 hours. This discipline shows you're reliable and you mean what you say. Notice what you haven't done yet? You haven't asked for a job and you haven't asked for a referral. You've only given. You've established yourself as a generous, competent, and well-connected professional. When the time is right to make that big ask that you need, they'll usually be eager to help. Don't believe me? Let me tell you about a recent client, Sarah. She was a military spouse with a deep background in logistics, trying to break into the tech industry. She was brilliant, but she felt totally invisible at virtual events. She was stuck deep in Zoom ghost mode. I had her run this exact formula for one event. She built her 3-person curiosity list. She sent the 2-week warm-up messages. During the event, she used that curiosity framework to ask a hiring manager about the supply chain challenges their team was facing. She didn't pitch herself, she just listened. For her follow-up, she used the give first formula. She introduced that hiring manager to a former colleague of hers who had solved a nearly identical problem. She gave first. And you know what happened? A couple weeks later, that hiring manager emailed her. Not only did he thank her for the introduction, but he said this: that kind of proactive problem solving is exactly what my team needs. We're about to post a new role on the team, and I would love for you to apply for it if you're still looking. Sarah didn't get lucky. She used a system. She had a pre-event intel to warm up the connections, and she used the curiosity framework to understand their real problems. And she used the give first formula to prove her value before ever asking for a thing. This isn't about being an extrovert. It's about having a plan. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one virtual event in the next 30 days, just one, and run this entire protocol from start to finish. Build your curiosity list, send the warm-up messages, and use the 72-hour rules. Judge this system by the results that you get, not by how you feel today. If you're stuck building your 6-year-old answer or don't know how to translate your background into that language that actually lands, that's the work that I do. I work with people in transition, service members, military spouses, career changers, helping you build a strategy that works, not just generic advice. You need a real plan for how to position yourself and execute your search like a mission. Link in the description to book a strategy call, or stalk me on LinkedIn if you're not quite ready yet. We'll talk about where you are, where you want to go, and what's standing in the way. Don't forget to subscribe for more tactical career content. I post new strategies every week.